Hey guys, how's it going? This is Lewis in Japan, and today I'm doing a slightly different video for you today. So as you know, if you've been following me on my channel, I've been living in Japan for a while now, and I've had a bit of a steep learning curve when buying Japanese cards from Japan, from things like Yahoo Auction and stuff like that. It can be a bit daunting when you first go on there, particularly as Google Translate doesn't do a very good job of translating what the sellers are trying to tell you, and it also doesn't give you an insight into the seller's minds, or which I'll speak about in a minute, or what their feedback really represents, or the value of cards, or what you're actually buying. You can't really get a good idea of that. I've got multiple points written down here which I'm going to go across, and hopefully I can cover everything. I'm going to teach you some Japanese words as well. I'm going to show you the what you're going to read. I won't go too in depth as to the meaning of the words so much. I will tell you how they sound, but really these are key words that you're going to want to look for when looking on a Japanese auction website and you see a card you want and you want to get it, but you're not sure. Is it good condition? Is it the holo version? Has it been played with? Is it a sealed item? Blah blah blah, all that stuff. So we're going to go through that. First of all, I want to talk a bit about card condition, because Japanese collectors have a different view to English and American collectors, or anywhere else. Every country has a different one, but I'm going to say Japan is a little bit separated purely because, and only for this reason, they don't really grade cards here, PSA grade cards. It's not a service I've seen here, and actually I bought my first PSA card from Yahoo Auction. It was a £5, it cost me £5 in the end, £5 equivalent. It was a CD promo Charizard PSA 8. Yeah, it cost me £5 when I got it. The case was all scratched up and it looked pretty good, so I cracked it open, but unfortunately it did have the size of a factory nick in the corner, a little bend there, so I couldn't regrade it because I thought if it's a 9, I'm not going to be happy with that because I'm OCD, I want 10s, and I couldn't sell it as a 9 even if it did get one, because I feel a bit bad doing that, so that hasn't been regraded. Other than that, that is the only PSA card I've seen on Yahoo Auction or any other Japanese website. I was lucky to find it and I haven't found one since. There might be more since then, but I highly doubt it. PSA grading is not a thing here. So firstly, their view of condition is a lot different. Maybe they're not as strict, sometimes they are, but not quite so. One example is they don't really, the condition of cards doesn't really matter when it's something like your Gold Star Charizard or your Crystal Charizard or your base set Charizard. Those high selling things, or your Lily Pad Mew, which I had a bad experience with, or Koro Koro Mew, other things like that. When it comes to that sort of rare card here in Japan, it maintains its value. Even if it's all scratched to hell and it's got a bend in it, I see them going for 30,000 yen, 1,000 yen, 2,000 yen, which is 10,000, 20,000. I see them going for ridiculous prices, and they've got photos of the back of these, and they're really not in good condition, but they still go for a lot of money because people value the rarity of the card over the condition. That said though, the cards sold here are usually in very good condition. I will just be wary of those very, very high value cards, because sometimes condition, they don't really care about it, they just want the really rare card. They get fanatical about collecting, just as we do, obviously, but we care a bit more about getting it a PSA 10. So that is that. For the majority of sellers, as I'm going to tell you, I'm going to teach you some Japanese in a bit, they're always nervous when describing their items. So you could put it into Google Translate, can't talk, let me have a sip of my beer. You can put the text from the auction into Google Translate and it's going to say, it's in excellent condition, it looks beautiful, but for those of you that have the nervous mind, because Google Translate isn't very good, those of you that have the nervous mind towards scratches, don't bid on this item, consider it for play, no claims, no returns. That doesn't mean this card has scratches all over it, it just means they don't want to disappoint you. In Japan, customer is truly king, so they don't want to disappoint anyone and they don't want bad feedback. As I said though, that being said, Jesus, what is with my English here? That being said, I'm trying to speak Japanese every day, so when I speak English to the camera, which I'm not very good at anyway, it kind of goes out the window. That being said, the majority of the time, if it says it's in beautiful condition, that card will be in beautiful condition. I would, however, always make sure that they have a picture of the back of the card, because I've had a bad experience with a card before. It was a Lily Pad Mew, which I spoke about earlier, and that was all destroyed to hell on the back. Right, let's get to a few Japanese words, key points that you're going to want to know. Then I'm going to go back to a few more points like that, but I've been dragging on for a while, so let's teach you some stuff that will help you like that. So here's the first word, that's actually the second word. Where are we here? That's Kirakardo. I've taken it out, here it is. This says Kirakardo, Kirakardo. This means, it might translate as shining card. It means shining card, holofoil. This is a holofoil card. So if you see something online and it says Kira card, you know you're not going to be accidentally buying the non-holo version. It will be the holo version. I know they don't have things like, for example, the Jungle Cipher, which can be, in English, it can be holo or non-holo. It's just a holo here. But this could be quite useful for you if you're not sure if the card is a holo or not. You see that word and you know it is. So there's that. Next up, here's the one I was looking for. The most obvious one, this says Pokemon Cardo. So cardo means card, Pokemon Cardo. I'm going to write this in the description of the video, and you're going to be able to use this to search on Yahoo Auction for the items. If you make a spelling mistake in Japanese search engines, you will not find what you're looking for. For example, if you write Charizard in an English website like eBay, Charizard with an S, you're still going to find Charizard. It's going to ask, did you mean Charizard? With Japanese, because of their language, their alphabets, it won't necessarily find it. You'll just get no returns, and you'll be like, what? There's no Charizard cards on Yahoo Auction? There is, but you need to make sure you're typing it right. So I recommend also, you type this in at the beginning, go onto Bulbapedia or whatever, type in Charizard and find the Japanese name, copy and paste it in, and you will find the cards you're looking for. Next up, this is something to do with condition. This here means chobihin. Chobihin. Really beautiful. It means this is in beautiful condition. If you see this kanji here, these two kanjis, chobihin, you know the card is in perfect condition. It should be. Combine that with checking that they've got two pictures, and later on we're going to talk about feedback in a minute. Combine all those three things like you would in English, and you're going to find a good quality card. You're going to see this a lot also. Play yo. Play yo. This means play, yo, for play, as in consider it for play. It might say this even though it says chobihin, which means very beautiful. That is just a nervous seller most of the time. If you have the nervous mind, etc., don't bid, then you know that they're just being a little bit nervous, a bit cautious. If they've got good quality pictures, you can go for that card. If you're ever stuck, by the way, you can always ask me. I'm not going to snipe the item for you. I'm in Japan, I can get items when I want most of the time. Send me the link and I'll read it for you, and I'll send it back and tell you if it's good or not. But anyway, if you see, consider for play, if you see this on its own, without chobihin, this is a played card, and don't go for it necessarily. You'll probably see more in the pictures. Unfortunately, you won't be able to message the person if you can't speak Japanese. They won't understand you, you won't understand them. But generally, if you just see this and you don't see beautiful condition in Google Translate, don't go for this card if you want it for grading. If you see the other word and this, then you can think, maybe this is actually okay to go for. What have we got next? One more page. I messed up the kanji here. This is opened and unopened products. So this is only going to be useful if you're buying something like the Alolan Vulpix box or the Team Skull Pikachu box, something like this. I won't say booster boxes, it's obvious if it's opened or not, but sometimes they like to, as most people with products, they'll open up the packs, they'll sell these all individually, and they'll sell the box itself individually for card storage, and it might go for a while, for quite a lot, sorry. So if you see Mikaifu, if you see these kanji here, this means unopened. They haven't opened it. All the products, all the cards and stuff are in there, unopened. Otherwise, if you see Kaifuzumi, which is this one, remember this, you can always just print screen these if you want, or come back to the video. If you see this, as you guessed, this means this product has been opened, and you probably shouldn't buy it because it won't have any cards in, and you'll be stuck with nothing. Right, one last Japanese word, and then I'm going to go a bit back into some of my opinions. This is just the useful stuff. This next word is a katakana word. It means shiru. Shiru, seal. It doesn't mean sealed. I'm teaching you this. It means something else. I'm teaching this directly after opened and unopened on purpose. If you see seal, it doesn't mean it's sealed. Shiru in Japanese is sticker. It means sticker, Pokemon sticker, something like that. It does not mean sealed product. That word for sealed product is different. So that is that. If you want to go back to them, you can print screen them and you can find out, and you can use them to when you're going and you're looking on Yahoo Auction. You might not be using Yahoo Auction, but that's the main one I use, them just letting you know about that. Okay, next up, feedback on Yahoo. If you're going to go and you're going to look there, you're going to see this. They have a sun symbol, a little sun with a number under it. That means good feedback. And they're going to have a little umbrella with rain clouds above it. That means bad feedback. Damn, I can't talk. One more sip. However, the writing on that bad feedback will never say anything bad. It will always say, I'm happy, in bad translation, happy that I could do good dealings with you, stuff like that. They're never going to say anything bad because it's not a country where you directly say something bad about someone, be considered very rude here. So they don't say it. They indirectly saying it by saying, thank you for a good deal, but I'm going to put this umbrella of a rain cloud above it because I'm not really too happy with the deal. I'm going to say, as a general rule of thumb, because of this, and because of what I said before about Japanese collectors' opinions of condition, there's going to be very few that really care completely about condition. The rest of them won't. I'm going to say, if it's a more than 1 in 10 ratio of bad feedback, I would probably stay away from that seller. Anything more than 1 in 10, stay away, because it could be in bad condition. You don't really want to risk it. As I said, a lot of those other 9 people that left good feedback could be getting crap cards, but they're really happy with them because they're expensive cards. It doesn't matter that they're in crappy condition. They're happy they could get a rare card. That's it for that. The last thing I want to talk about is third-party websites, and then back to Japanese sellers and their postage costs. So, firstly we do the postage costs. If you're buying from Japan and they have an expensive postage cost, it's not like eBay where they're saying, you can buy this Crystal Charizard for £1, the shipping's only £1,000. It's not like that here. If you're buying a card from someone and they say the shipping costs £12.50, that's what it's going to cost them. From personal experience, I've bought items on Yahoo Auction and the lady has come back to me and said, I'm very sorry, it was actually cheaper than I said, so I'm going to refund you, or the next purchase you get from me, I'll give you your money back. And I myself had to do that for someone else. As a result, I only offer free shipping on Yahoo Auction and just hope that people take that into account and I get a little bit more money. So they're never going to rip you off for postage. However, I can't speak for everyone, so look at that feedback as well. Look for those rain clouds if you're buying. The last one is third-party websites, where not necessarily third-party as in something that buys from Yahoo Auction, but also look at websites that are selling Japanese products. I'm not going to name any websites, but there are websites where you can buy Japanese products from and now deliver straight to you. It will be all in English, which is very, very easy, but a lot of the time the prices on those things are absolutely astronomical. It's not fair trade prices at all. I know they have to make a profit. I know they've got import charges and stuff like that, but I'm not too sure that they're actually based in America and import them themselves. You might get that import cost. You might have to pay that. So I would cross-reference your items using the words I taught you earlier and going on Bulbapedia to find the Pokemon names and the set names in Japanese. Take a look at them on things like Yahoo Auction, and more useful would be to look on Yodobashi Camera. Yodobashi Camera. Type that in. Get the katakana translation. I'll even put the word Yodobashi Camera in the description below. Type that in, and then go on that search and find what you want. And look at the price, because they always have very competitive prices. Sometimes they're even cheaper than like the Pokemon Center. So look at the price on there, convert it to what your whatever your money is, and take a look, and then compare it with these other websites, because you may be getting ripped off. Fair enough. Some things are difficult to get. Oh my god, I can't talk. One more sip. Things are difficult to get. And those websites might be the only way you can get them, but it might be worth waiting and looking around rather than just going head on into that and getting absolutely ripped off for something you can get a hell of a lot cheaper. I've seen it loads of times, especially for popular boxes like these. They go for a hell of a lot. These will only cost about £7 here, where I've seen them going for way, way more than that. So that's just one more thing to look at. And that is about it for the video. These are some things I can think of off the top of my head. I don't have a very good script here, as you can see. It's the first time for me doing this. But if you've got any questions, then just let me know in the comment section below. I won't be able to reply to messages, private messages, but do comment and I'll comment back. And that way everyone can see the answer and it'll help them. If you've got any problems buying Japanese products, come to me and I'll do my best to help you out. I'm not the most knowledgeable person. There's way more people here that know a lot, but hopefully my information can help you. And yeah, that's something cool for you, and you can enjoy buying and collecting Japanese cards as I do in your own country. So thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you guys later.